Have you ever wanted to create a magnificent picture with just one click? Or perhaps you have always wanted to find an impeccable job, but you don't know how to write a CV in the right way? Well, you can ask ChatGPT, it can help you out. Or perhaps you don't want to pay to your psychologist. Well, ChatGPT can be your psychologist easily. Don't know about you, but I am so tired of such ads of AI that it is literally everywhere. Welcome to I Couldn't Help But Wonder, or simply ICHBW Episode 4, AI and Humanity. Today we'll try to consider this controversial topic. Is AI any good or not? So we'll try to go through four main areas that I would love to discuss: AI in arts, AI in work, AI in studies, and AI in life. And at the end of this video, perhaps we'll find out the conclusion, we'll find out the outcome to the question, is AI any good? I will also try to provide some examples of my personal experience with AI, because I do use AI, as most of you probably do. So, and yeah. Now, I believe we can start with AI in art. So this is a bit distant, but quite an interesting one, and I personally use AI in arts. So we can create anything now. We can create any kind of image. We can create any kind of music. We can even create videos. Simple dimple, or easy peasy, as we say. Is it good? Me, myself, being a teacher, I would say it is a good thing, especially the generation of images and music. Because for teachers, as they teach, it would be a wonderful tool to visualize, or to perhaps even, how do we say, acousticalize, musicalize, perhaps? Well, yeah, to create some kind of a sound for students. For instance, you work with children. Well, and you are in the process of learning planets. Well, you can create a song simply with free AIs. Why not? Can be fun. This is what I do personally. And what about images? If you discuss something very abstract, or something that is actually difficult to explain verbally, well, you can explain it visually. You can create a picture that includes the concept that you are trying to explain, which is a wonderful thing. And I believe that teachers need to incorporate it. Now, the thing that I dislike about the AI in art is that the photo shoots and these trendy ones where you kind of, well, nowadays there is a trendy one where you kind of create your avatar, if you will. You upload your picture and you get this doll in a box with like some units that represent you. These are the things that I don't like, because I think that photo shoots are interesting, are entertaining, and we are gradually losing these, so to say, this entertaining activity that actually happens in our lives. So from this point of view, it is a terrible thing. And especially, it might be also dangerous. When we upload our pictures on social media, it can be dangerous. I wanted to try, I think a couple of years ago, at the very foundation of this, of all of it, where we can create these new photos with interesting styles, and so forth. But the application was telling me that it cannot recognize my face, and I thought that, well, perhaps something is trying to protect me from all of it. So yeah, and even, you can upload your picture and you can transform it into video. You can also upload your voice and transform it into a voice on the internet, and just with a couple of clicks, you can create a video on YouTube. Oh, and by the way, as we talk about art, you can even create a scenario for a video using ChatGPT, for instance. This is what I would love to try, but when you create a scenario, it means that you need to learn it. And my videos, they will always be, these random ideas that come to my mind, and I, just like this, write a little plan, very short plan of the things that I would love to discuss, and I start talking, as I do now. So I don't have scripts. No, I'm simply talking the things that I want to talk and the things that come to my mind during or while I'm talking. So you see, it's a real improvisation, if you will. So yeah, in art, the conclusion, I would say that it is 50-50 perhaps, or if I try to think a bit profound, I would say perhaps it is 70 for and 30 against, because it is still a wonderful tool that teachers can use. So I would say in arts, it is more of a tool that we can really benefit from, and to economize and facilitate the process of writing the curriculum or the plan. So why not? And even creating interesting exercises. Now, well, as I started to talk about teachers, so on and so forth, in my own experience professionally, let's switch to AI for work. Nowadays, AI, well, we kind of discussed arts, we kind of discussed teaching, but you can use AI for other types of work. And is it good or bad? As I do not really work in other areas, I cannot say whether it is good or bad, but probably we can, again, economize things. But the most important thing, especially when we talk about works, is to, or when we talk about work, rather, is to, is to be critical of things the AI writes, because there might be a lot of mistakes. There might be things that are not correct at all. So for this purpose, I would say, again, teachers might benefit, and perhaps we can even say here it is 50-50, perhaps, because some jobs, they really can benefit and facilitate, simplify the process of their work, or the processes of their work, which is perhaps a good thing. Now, we go to the studies. Oh, well, here I am going to explode. I finished my master's when the AI was not that acceptable, or would say was not that developed, even though we had it. But I finished it. I love science. I love teaching my work. I love to study. I love learning languages, so on and so forth. I love challenges. And me personally, I'm always satisfied when I'm facing a challenge and I'm going through it, and it is always like some kind of a satisfaction, as I said. And I despise, I detest these kinds of videos on Instagram where people say that, oh, if you're writing your dissertation or your PhDs, well, you can upload all the documents on AI, any kind of AI, because nowadays we have numerous of such. You can upload all the documents, all the bibliography that you need to read, and it can easily respond to the questions that you prompt or you text. I hate it. And I also saw even some, as they said, professors or teachers or whatever at the universities that suggest AIs as well, to incorporate AI while you write a dissertation. I believe that this is just tremendously disappointing. Why? Because, when we talk about, okay, studies at school, okay, at school we have a lot of stuff, and we do not really, well, we can, of course, do the things that we like to do, but we are also kind of obliged to do the things that we don't really want to do. Perhaps as a way of cheating, it could be beneficial. Perhaps. But when we talk about universities, it means that you mainly, right? Mainly you go to the university and you study a subject that you like. And then you go to the masters. You continue, so to say, digging deeper and deeper into the subject that you like. And when you go to the PhDs, or when you try to get your PhDs, you are obsessed, if you will, with this subject. So why do you even need to think of incorporating AI into your studies? I don't know. And I personally think that such videos and advice make, how can I say it? The incorporation of AI makes education useless in some ways. Because, I mean, what's then the point of even going to university just to get your certificate and whatever? For instance, you incorporate all of it. Yeah, you get your PhD. What's then? You probably become a teacher, right? Or you go into science. What's then? What do you do then with your life? Do you still continue to use AI to write scientific articles? I don't think so. Because otherwise, well, we are screwed otherwise. Imagine such professors that incorporate AI in their lives, in their science. We can actually benefit, yeah, we can cooperate. We can cooperate if we want to find a document, perhaps. But to read it and not to enlarge your knowledge while you are trying to pursue and to become a professor, I don't see any point in it. So I'm very disappointed of such people. And I'm very disrespectful towards such people. If one day I become a teacher at the university, I would love to. A professor at the university, I would never let and allow my students to use AI. I would try to create some kind of exercises that I would mark and I would note, and I would understand that this person or that person created or used AI, any kind of AI for their homework. So, yeah, I'm very disappointed in it. Or perhaps I won't give any homework, I will do it immediately at the lesson. I don't know. But as you see, perhaps you've noticed that I became very anxious of it, because I am truly am. So anyways, so here the conclusion probably would be, for studies, 4 would be perhaps 15%, and the other one is against, where 15% is the cooperation and research of particular articles, and perhaps plausibly use of AI at school. Life. AI for life. So another thing that I dislike the most about AI, and where people try to incorporate AI into lives, is that I mentioned at the very beginning of the example with psychologist, where you decide to make your AI or ChatGPT to be your psychologist. This is enormous, in the sense of that everyone forgets that AI, it's just a code. It is programmed. and it is artificial, which means that AI will never ever be able to analyze your life the way you want it to analyze. And only an experienced person might help you if you have any kind of psychological problems. So, and if I think about lives, we can benefit from AI. For instance, we can use it for some kind of calculations, taxes, or especially as we live in this hustle and bustle way of existence. Perhaps AI might help us to kind of facilitate or categorize or arrange our schedules, our lives, so we more or less, exist. More or less, we have a plan for existence. Even though I hate these people that have a whole plan or a whole day planned, because then when do you leave? Perhaps a lot of successful, if you will, people or whatever would say, well, if you want to be successful, you need to have your life scheduled. But I'm against it. I think a bit of spontaneous events in our lives makes us feel a bit, let's say, a bit better. So, yeah. And as for here, then AI in lives, I would say maybe 20% for and 80% against, because we can benefit. So overall conclusion would be that, if we base our opinion on these numbers, I would say that the amount, or rather the percentage of against, is higher than the percentage of for. And what is the most disappointing is that, especially about educational system, especially about teachers, that teachers in public schools do not learn such things, and they do not kinda know even about such things that they exist, which is disappointing. And I really would love the governments to help teachers, especially teachers, to survive in this whole environment. Because I know a lot of teachers, including me, who are scared of being replaced with robots and machines and AI and so on and so forth. Because students start to trust more the AI than their own knowledge, and moreover than teachers. So, where we are heading, it is a good question. Will life get better? It all depends on us. Should we shut down all AIs? Perhaps not, because society could benefit from it. Should we limit AI? Perhaps no as well, because if we limit something, then it means that it becomes the part of a particular social group and divides us. Should we educate people on how to use the AI? We, of course, should. And only we, as humanity, as society, as human beings, can change the attitude, and we can change the history, our history. So it was, I couldn't help but wonder, quite a different one. I would say a bit more improvised nowadays and a bit more emotional than the other ones. But yeah, if you have any other thoughts, I would love to discuss with you this whole topic, because it is very important, and I would say maybe a very urgent one. We need to planify what happens next. So otherwise, hope to see you one day in the future. Goodbye, everyone.